looking for a reason to quit. Let's give it to them.
And be able to play at the same level and cruise through the rest of the tournament.
And a big thing for these two teams is who can get off to a hot start first, because as you mentioned, the losses being a little bit larger than they both maybe would have liked. This is going to be a question of which team can bounce back first and carry that momentum forward. Kat is also fluent en français, so throughout the broadcast, Kat will also be speaking French. Maybe, Kat, if you want to say something to the French audience listening right now.
Oui, on va entendre un peu de français. Puis comme on disait tantôt, les deux équipes viennent tous de perdre également environ de 10 points. Donc, ça va être un bon reset pour les deux équipes de jouer une équipe avec le même équivalence puis juste être capable de regagner leur confiance.
Quasar going to be pulling in the dark jerseys to Grindmothers in the white jerseys. And we're about to get started here. Second round of the day. First round for us on the live stream here on the Ultimate Canada YouTube page. If you're in the chat right now, get your comments in there. Put some stuff in the chat, right? Interact with the people watching back at home. And we're underway here. Women's division action. Grindmothers on offense. Like I said, the white jerseys going right to left on your screen. Disc in the hands of, was in the hands of Rachel Fitkowski. Now over to their star player, Melissa Wheeler, the captain of this team, as they look to get out on the move here. You hear defense cheers coming down from the Quasar sideline as they try to usher in their squad. Wheeler now looking for options. Has someone going up the line. That's Claremore Gibbons. And CMG's throw just a little too far for her intended target. And it'll be a turnover and a chance for Quasar.
The wind we are starting to feel pick up a little bit, so it's really interesting to see that Macramé hot off the first point they put. Quasar put the zone on Grindmothers.
Marianne Toasty, a star player for this Quasar side, played for Cube last season. Number 54 in blue, going to be a big part of this handler offense. And Koch looking for Jade Cote. Cote brings that one in as this is a great chance, but it's denied by Melissa Wheeler. Two Wheelers on this team. Megan Wheeler also on the squad. Now it's Kat Moffitt. Working past into the red zone. Amber Hodder looking for a target in Kat Moffitt, but just out of the left hand, out of the reach.
It'll be interesting to see on the comeback point if they'll do another zone. It looked like Grindmothers did zone for 1 point and then went down to man, but we're looking at a person-to-person defense now.
And throw a little too low for Catherine Gante. And so a third chance, and Grindmothers will bring it in. Nope, it is not in just yet. And some confusion with the observers, but Kari Jenkins will be registered with the assist, and Kat Moffitt on the reception for the hold for Grindmothers.
And that was a beautiful break point too. They had a first break chance, and I saw a bit of hesitation, but afterwards you realize that it worked.
I mean, Quasar did have break chances, but Grindmothers able to get the hold. And so now a first look at Quasar on offense. Had a chance to catch some of their game last round, and there was some struggles for them working against Cooked from BC's zone defense. So I'm curious to see if Grindmothers will put out a zone defense themselves. Of course, these two teams did not have time to scout each other. Grindmothers was across the complex, had to make their way here to the showcase field. So curious to see what happens here for both sides and how Quasar plays this first offensive point.
Especially with if they put a zone, they have a really tall they have a lot of tall players on Grindmothers, and
that disc almost hit you, Kat.
yes, it did. Sorry for the pause.
That's why you stopped. Andrea Boucher to pick up for Quasar. And I think the disc has been lost under our stage here, and that's why there's a bit of a delay. And now it has been picked up by Boucher. Aaron O'Reilly set to mark here, number 23, wearing the Michael Jordan. Split stack look from Quasar, Kat. Let's see what play they draw up.
On dirait qu'Quasar a une bonne chance ici. Grindmothers joue personne défense.
Veronique Croteau now with the disc, looking for a reset. Almost got it on the second chance, but it'll be a Grindmothers break opportunity. Let's see if they go out on the run here.
I really like Quasar's patience with it.
They were patient until just that one mishandle with the reset. Tracy Dyer getting things going. We're in the 21 shirt. Played for Saj last season. Going to be a key player for this team. Played for Saj at Worlds as well. Number 21 has the disc now. Now with Jess Wade. O'Reilly. Back to Wade. Wade, a captain for this Grindmothers team. Pointing out some directions here for the vert stack. Now it's Steph Walsh. O'Reilly Finds the aforementioned Dyer, and it's a break for Grindmothers. So they get the turn and immediately punch it in. So a good start here from the team from the East Coast. They're one of the teams that had to travel a little bit further. Obviously, they have to fly, and for them, a lot of their preparation is playing against themselves, and that's always tough when you're an isolated community. You only kind of get action against your own team, so it's always fun for them to be able to play some new teams.
Totally. It's very expensive, too, if you want to go see other teams. After speaking to teams like in Manitoba, I heard competition is hard because you have to travel outside your province. Pour les familles à la maison, juste pour que vous êtes au courant, les Grindmothers viennent de faire un autre point bris contre Quasar.
There's a lot of Q teams out there.
There is. But that's how you know they're from Quebec.
You did mention Karma, and there are multiple players who have played for that Karma side, like the Picard sisters, and amongst some others. So there is a lot of Quebec City representation, of course, this team being from that area. And so noted in their notes to us, they're a 10-year-old team, kind of a fresh start last year with the creation of some other teams in the area. So they're looking to continue to build this program for years to come. That, unfortunately, not going to help their cause right now as a misplay in the handler space with Robitaille and Ankosh. So Melissa Wheeler now finds Kat Moffat. Moffat back to Wheeler. A little give-go action, and it's Wheeler to Moffat. Moffat's second goal of the game, and it's 3-0 just like that.
You know, Quasar has the right idea, and you can see it. It's just a little bit of execution errors at the end.
So you see Quasar, they're jogging out to the line right now. And so they're electing not to call time. They do have a coach, Susie Dufour, listed. Ariane Toasty listed as an assistant coach, but also plays. Had 8 assists last year at Nationals for this Quasar side. So this whole team is out on the field. You like to see that unity down 3-0 right now.
Absolutely. Just the team support goes a huge, long way.
Grindmothers had, like you said, a bit of a tough loss, losing 15-4 to Spiced. But they have rebounded, at least for right now, with a 3-0 advantage. And we talked about it off the top of the broadcast, which team could match and, take off what they had faced in the last game and put that away. And it looks like Grindmothers has been the team to do that, at least so far.
With 3 breaks in a row, it looks like they really want it and really want to come back out of the gate after that loss.
And now it's down for Quasar's offensive line to try to stem the tide here. Looking deep right away, but no receiver there. Instead, it's a defender. And it's Heather Sullivan instead. Sullivan's throw pops up. Good track down from Grindmothers. They're going to keep going on the run here. That was Erin O'Reilly making the play. Rocking the pink cleats, can't miss him on the field. Now it's Steph Walsh. Backhand force here from Quasar. You can see one of the defenders being told home. They are forcing backhand right now, Kat.
Want to make sure that all the players are on the same page on that defense.
And you have to, right? Because all your downfield defenders are shifting that way. Walsh looking for someone. Will this stay in bounds? It will trickle into the player line. Sarah Davis does make the catch, but will not be credited with the goal, of course, as it's out of bounds. And another chance here for Quasar. That's Andrea Boucher, who's picked up before for this line. They have an upwind, downwind line because they have captains for those groups, line captains. So opting for that instead of the traditional OD. Julia Ontario can't bring that disc in, one of the aforementioned line captains. And O'Reilly is quite free, but that's because there was a pick.
For families at home who are not familiar with the pick call, did you want to explain?
Kat, I'll leave you to explain it en français maybe, or maybe English. But in terms of, yeah, it's not like basketball where you can directly impede someone else's ability to go to the disc. As we see a turnover there, you can't create a block to prevent someone from catching it or from moving at all on the field. So if you do that on offense and a pick is called, you got to make sure you catch it, right, Kat? Because if not, it can be a turnover if you drop it. So one of the nuances of Ultimate there. And if you're new to the sport, we do appreciate you tuning in. Kat brought up a good point here. As Quasar out on the move, looking for their first goal, but it's swatted away by Kat White.
I think they said they have 2 cats. I think there's 3 cats mentioned on this live stream. You know, despite the score, I love Quasar's energy. They're still in it, and they're still cheering. And as you said before, they really will go cheer on their team that's about to set up their next line.
Yeah, that's a big part of their team. A big mark here from Theriot, trying to make things difficult for Sullivan. O'Reilly, been a key cog for this D-line right now. Same thing with Steph Walsh, and that short-armed throw will give them a red zone chance here. This is their 3rd opportunity on offense. They're going to have to get it back a 4th time, potentially. They're going to have to put on their defensive wizardry right now. And that just slips out of the hands of Heather Sullivan, perhaps some sunscreen causing some issues. Boucher picks up quickly with no one ready to go for Quasar. No stack set at all. 2 players there. Theriot throws it and finds and Koch, and so they get on the board here. Does Quasar.
It was beautiful because her open side was all congested, and then she just looked at the other side, and her player did a beautiful L cut to catch that point. Pour ceux à la maison, Quasar vient de gagner leur premier point pour le match contre Grindmothers.
Premier point. That's the first point. I know that. So Quasar getting off the schneid, able to score their first point. And so now back out with another line. I don't foresee them crossing over too many players. It's quite early in the tournament. This is a 3-day tournament. You are watching on a Friday. So if you're working or just enjoying yourself where you are, we thank you, of course, for tuning in. Grabbing a tea if maybe you're on the West Coast. It's quite early if you're there. We got more action to come. A couple more streams coming at you. And, of course, all weekend as well. We'll have all the finals on Sunday. There's a second field as well, Kat, with video only. So you got more Masters action than you could ever want.
Yes, you do. Tune in live at Brampton.
Flower City. Rachel Fitkowski now zipping things over. They're quite on the move and just out of the right hand of Heather Sullivan. So this is an offensive point, the second one for Grindmothers. They squeaked out a hold on their first one after having 2 turnovers apiece from each team. So let's see if Quasar's D-line offense can go to work. Toasty up line, but it's a reset instead to Amlan. And Amlan looking for Toasty, but a little behind. Melissa Wheeler. Fitkowski with a nice grab. Now Amber Hodder getting a touch. Back to Wheeler, who is directing traffic right now. One of the players, a captain who has previously played for Tempest, the senior team, looking into the end zone. Visionary throw from Melissa Wheeler, finding Amber Hodder. And it's 4-1.
Grindmothers vient de gagner leur 4e point contre Quasar. It was really interesting because the first turnover, Quasar applied a really nice zone on Grindmothers, forcing a turnover. And then after the Quasar turnover, you would have thought that Quasar would have gone back to their zone. But they just did person defense, which is fine because sometimes we're getting a breeze and sometimes we're not.
I'm coming off coaching provincials in Ontario with the junior side. And Kat, I don't know if you know, but juniors play a lot of zone because, you know, the youngins, they might not have the same throws as these seasoned Masters players. So I'd be hesitant to put on a zone right now if there's not a lot of wind. It's just these players have a lot of years throwing. You don't really want to give them a chance to slice and dice.
I always say Masters play with wisdom.
Oh, okay, wisdom. Wizardry and wisdom is what we're going to say. And for some of these players, this might be their first or second game where they have observers. So everything's kind of sped up, right? They're coming off rounds where most likely there were not observers in their game. And so you have to adjust, I know I did as a coach, to the quicker pace of calling the lines, getting everyone set, making sure you have your matchups, etc.
Quick transitions.
And they're here to speed things up. They'll call active in and out line calls. If you're new to the sport, they are not referees. So this is self-officiated. Thériault looking for the second assist, and that's a clean offensive point for Quasar. Olivia Brochu on the receiving end.
Deuxième point pour Quasar, comme on avait dit, Thériault à Brochu pour le point.
And for Julianne Thériault, 5 assists, 11 goals a year ago for this team, and you can see why. 2 assists now for her. And Quasar feeling a bit of that energy right now. You saw a turnover each on that last offensive point for Grindmothers. Quasar on the other side able to get a clean hold. That's actually the first clean hold of the game. So Quasar trying to get some momentum right now.
And Thériault is a very tall player too. You can tell that she's got a lot of D's just with her vertical jump as well.
The length on the mark too.
Absolutely. Those arms spread out.
It's going to cause a lot of problems. Ariane Tosti trying to talk to the team here. Had a chance to speak with her before the game, and she had mentioned, hey, they want to play some tighter defense, noting that that's maybe something they had to work on from their recent matchup where they dropped the game 15-5 to Cooked, and also looking for more confidence with the disc, and I can certainly say that point showed a lot of confidence.
Absolutely. It did not define the first 2 points that were played.
And if they're going to show that kind of offense, Grindmother's going to have to really watch out here because that was very smooth for them. Grindmothers, they come out in hex offense. That's the type of set they're going to run. So you're going to see that throughout the game. Some quick passes, perhaps too quick, as Marianne Beauchamp getting involved with the block. So can Quasar notch their first break of the game? Cote. Finding Koch. Koch looking into the end zone. Can a receiver track it? She cannot. Fitkowski will be credited with the block. They were looking for Beauchamp. But regardless of the score, you know the Quasar D chants are going to come onto the field. Tosi, I don't think got a hand on it, but just that distraction enough to cause trouble. This is Quasar's best chance with their D-line so far in this game. Melanie Bouchard. Looking cross field. Swatted away. Second effort. Almost there for Quasar, but Melissa Wheeler making sure that Alexandra Perron-Marie couldn't get it. Fikowski. Finding Megan Wheeler now. Having 2 siblings on the same line. I think that builds some chemistry out here.
Some sibling telepathy?
We haven't seen them link up just yet. Hodder with a breakthrow. They're out on the move now. Wheeler looking for a deep shot. Puts a nice touch flick to Fitkowski just outside the end zone. Moffitt finds a target in the other Wheeler. It's Megan Wheeler getting on the board. It's 5-2 now.
I'm noticing a little bit of miscommunication on the defense with Quasar in terms of marking certain players and even the mark itself on the thrower. And that can obviously hurt your defense downfield. Like we said earlier, you want to make sure that everyone's on the same page knowing which force.
Yeah, you can't have the defensive lapses, especially when you're trying to make a comeback here. You do, if you're Quasar, there is a saving grace. You do get the disc on offense in the second half, but certainly you're trying to get a couple breaks back in the first to make your job in the second a little bit easier. Continue to put your comments in there. And that's another thing with the observers, Kat, is there will be offsides called. That's an active call they do make.
Shout out to Team Orange for making sure that everything rolls smoothly and on time.
That allows them to bring it to the brick mark. Grindmothers coming out in a zone here. Big wind up with the backhand. Couple players there, but tracking it is Florence LeMay. LeMay has a couple receivers going. Working a little give-go is LeMay. And we'll find Olivia Brochu. So Brochu's second goal. LeMay getting on the board as well with an assist. And that's another clean hold for Quasar.
Un troisième point pour Quasar qui avait défait la zone que Grindmothers avait mis sur eux.
And they're really settling into things right now. A little bit of a shaky start, bleeding those 2 breaks early, the break train going. But right now they've settled things down with 2 clean holds.
Sometimes you just need to get the wheels turning and build that momentum, which it seems it'll be interesting to see how Quasar comes out. Now they're only down 2 points to Grindmothers.
Observers ready to get the timing correct here as Ariane Toasty talking with her D squad. This Grindmothers offensive line has 3 holds to their name, but all of them have been what they call ultimate dirty holds, meaning there was at least 1 turnover. Able to get it back, so that shows the strength of their defense on their O-line. Fitkowski working with Wheeler. Fitkowski with the ball now, finding Wheeler as they look to move their way past half field. Some quick offense in that hex look. I'm sure Felix Charlot is happy about that. Helped pioneer the hex offense. Kari Jenkins. Now over to Wheeler. Power position is Melissa Wheeler. Pointing again. And it's taken away. Good help defense. Swatting it away at the last second. Bianca Picard there.
Un beau point défensif de Picard sur l'équipe Quasar.
Swatting it away with the right hand. Just a bobble there from Gonté. Short field now for Grindmothers. Thought about the hammer. Did CMG, but will give it to the dependable hands of Melissa Wheeler. Now it's Kari Jenkins going into the end zone looking for Amber Hodder. She brings it down.
Beautiful OI flick right into the hands there for their 6th point.
Hodder playing for Tempest last year at Nationals, had 11 goals at the senior level. Seeing why right now, showing her goal prowess with 2 already in this game. And one thing I really like about this setup, Kat, is we got the tunes going. We also got 1 field. Sometimes we've seen this field constricted into 2, especially if the weather doesn't hold up. But I like that there's a lot of space for the players. There's a player line, etc. It's good to see.
I'd have to say, I think it was CUUCs where we divided this field
Oh, yes, I was
into
there.
2, and we were set up on the opposite side because of it wouldn't be a CUC or an event if there wasn't a thunderstorm, which we unfortunately had on that day. So knock on wood that this tournament and this event, we don't have any bad weather.
So if you're Quasar, the Quebec City outfit, Kat, you've had chances because Grindmothers given it to you. Every offensive point you've had chances, not able to convert. What do they need to change anything differently with their D-line offense?
Absolutely. I think I would change the lines or even change our
Okay.
approach here at the moment. I'm not really seeing any new adjustments. I'm still seeing the same defense that they're applying, but it would be nice to change, maybe pull someone from the O line or do some changes, try and find a new chemistry with each other to find a new way to grind those grindmothers.
That's true because they have had chances, like we said. They're just not able to string together a few passes with their D line offense or that line's offense. I know they traditionally don't go O and D, whereas Grindmothers does here. Jess Wade finding Tracy Dyer. Wade with a nice grab to keep things alive. Working against this Quasar zone. So they start on offense, immediately turn it over in the red zone, and then go with a zone look. You do like to see that. Great coverage from Boucher to stop that throw from happening. Grindmother's still out on the move, though. Dyer.
Grindmothers have a really great momentum and connection with each other, and you'd see them find each other, especially with the zone. They know when to crash that cup and can find those holes and make the point.
And the point, they do just that. Dyer finds Sarah Davis. So that is a break for the Grindmothers. 1 point away from half here. Taking advantage of that end zone turnover from Quasar. You can see Dyer's impact right away. Born and raised in Newfoundland and Labrador. Taking a job out in Montreal. Has been playing with Saj, especially at Worlds as well. Had 6 goals for Saj at Worlds. 11 for them at Nationals last year. And is a key cog for the D-line and helping get an assist there. Already has an assist and a goal to her name.
À la maison, le pointage est 7-3 pour Grindmothers contre Quasar. Et la demi sera au 8e point.
No Ariane Toasty on this point for Quasar, and has been one of the key handlers for them. So we'll see where they get some of their offensive momentum going here, Kat. I do see Rachel Fitkowski playing a defensive point. Melissa Wheeler as well. So Grindmothers really going for the kill, so to speak, because they are putting what is essentially a power line on the field with their zone look. So how will Quasar react here? Kosh has the throw taken away by a bidding Heather Sullivan running through for the block. And now you have the sure-handed thrower in Melissa Wheeler. And as I say that, it's a turnover, so maybe the commentators curse early for Wheeler. I apologize to her. But Quasar, another chance. Lavigne finding Robitaille. Back to Elise Bastille Lavigne. EBL, we're going to coin. We got the three. If we got the 3 names, we're going to call it that. EBL looking into the end zone for Cote. But it's too far. Wheeler, power position. No one going deep, though. And I believe she is calling a timeout, Kat, as we see one of the observers, otherwise affectionately known as Chazzy, talking to Melissa Wheeler and the mark of Nancy Fortier. Looks like a timeout from Grindmothers here, the first of the game from either side. With that timeout, we're going to take a break as well and be right back. Grindmothers up 7-3 on Quasar. back in the action here, fresh off the Grindmothers timeout. They're up 7-3 right now, looking to take half. They do have a power line on the field. If you're just joining us, Theo Wan and Cat Fortan bringing you the call. We thank you, of course, for being here with us, supporting the Masters division. That throw going to evade the hands of Megan Wheeler, who's also crossed over. So 2 turnovers apiece here as Boucher to pick up. Reset evades the space, so now has to find a second one in Robitaille. And Robitaille's throw will settle into this beautiful grass here in Brampton, Ontario. Fikowski had to make a snag to keep things alive. Back to Megan Wheeler. Over to Melissa now. Moffat getting involved. 2 goals for Moffat right now in this game. Now it's Hillary Walsh. Melissa Wheeler looking for Fikowski, and that connection too smooth right now. That's 3 assists for number 47 in the first half alone as they're up 8-3.
Ça, c'est le 8e point pour Grindmothers contre Quasar. Donc, ça veut dire que les Grindmothers prennent la demi et on sera de retour. Any final words before we come back for the halftime?
Quasar, I mean, they had a couple clean holds. It was 5-3 at one point, and blink and you'll miss it. It's now 8-5. So they're going to have to settle things down here out of half. This is a team that has experience, and they've been at this tournament many times now. A long-standing squad. They're going to have to find it within themselves to get back in this game. But we're going to take a halftime break here. Be back in a few minutes. Go grab a water, tea, coffee, whatever you need, and enjoy the rest of this action here on the Ultimate Canada YouTube channel. thank you for coming back to the action here. Grindmothers from Newfoundland and Labrador up 8-3 on Quasar from Quebec City. Before we start the second half, we want to thank our sponsors, Be Ultimate Discraft and Experience Brampton. Discover everything the city has to offer at experiencebrampton.ca, your one-stop online resource for the best in arts, culture, entertainment, dining, shopping, and local experiences. Make the most of your time in this vibrant and diverse city and start planning your Brampton experience today. That's where we are right now. Credit View Sandalwood Park Fields, the location of this Masters Championship. Theo 1, Cat Fortin. Quasar dancing right now, but not dancing on the score line as they're down 8-3. What does Quasar need to do to come back in?
So looking at the first half, we noticed that Quasar had made a statement that they wanted to have tighter defense, but more spread out on their offense. But I feel like it was the opposite. So I'm hoping this offense, I can see that their players are more spread out. Can they really use the width of the field? And on their defense, they can apply that tight defense that they've been wanting so much. And they can also just be consistent with each other and make sure we're all on the same mark and same page.
Split stack here, and they're going to initiate things. Teterio's had a great first half, and as I say that, just out of the right hand to throw a little low there, making things difficult for number 97. Jess Wade and this Grindmothers D-line offense going to work here. You did see them put a lot of offensive line players and got the break for half to go up a comfortable 8-3. Megan Duggan looking for the inside shot for Ainsley Cameron, but that connection will not work out. Big block there. Getting involved is Steph Walsh. Huge play. Jess Wade finding Aaron O'Reilly. They're still looking out on the move here. No Tracy Dyer on this point for this Grindmothers team. Looking deep into the end zone. That's a great throw from Steph Walsh. An absolute dime ball finding Megan Duggan.
And it's a great start coming back from the halftime too. Thank you to our DJ who's playing some East Coast music to represent this beautiful 9th point coming into the second half.
9-3 the scoreline right now, and Grindmothers certainly trying to pull away here. And I see some people fist bumping for the music, so we do appreciate the DJ stylings of Wilson Pano here.
Our Grindmothers on the other side are very hyped by this music.
We did play some French music earlier for the Quasar fans wondering in the audience, so perhaps the music can help power a team or take some of that energy over. So,
you know, team speakers is a real thing. You need the good music.
And this is something we saw earlier in the first half where we called it a power line. They'll put their offensive line on for a D point here. And it's a short field turn once again. But there is a foul called, so we're going to have to wait to find out the conclusion of what just happened.
I don't think I agree with that foul call. It seemed like, unfortunately, the Quasar player, it just didn't catch it by mistake, and it just fumbled in their hands. But I think Wheeler on Grindmothers didn't touch or affect the play. She was just running by with the way they were dribbling.
Dribbling, we like that. Dribbling and frisbee. I know, it might be a foreign concept, but it does happen. A little give and go action out here, and scores across the complex, especially for Pool B. Fine print and cooked, locked at 6s. And same thing with Spice and the Collective. So you could say Pool B getting a little spicy right now because there could be some upsets happening. And speaking of upsets, Kat, in Pool A, Cora, well, they were up 8-7. Now it's 8-8. But Torp, the number 1 seed overall, the big favorite in this tournament, they're in a battle with Cora from Saskatchewan.
It'll be very exciting to see in the incoming days. Fun fact, do you know what TWARP stands for?
It's Toronto Women's Association of Retired Players.
I just found out that today.
The only reason why I know that is because I played on Carp last year, so it's a play on what we were called.
I love Masters teams that are able to do play on. Like, we've got Red Circus, Dead Circus,
Yeah.
Stella, Stella-O,
Yeah.
Cranky.
Yeah. There's a few of those out here. Salty and Sour. Sour not at this tournament. They played at Worlds. Saj, the flower theme with Iris. So there's a lot going on. We got a lot of creativity in the Masters division. As one Wilson Pan would say, elite ball knowledge. Zone look from Grindmothers, still trying to make things difficult for this Quasar offense. And that's going to help their cause. Another red zone opportunity. We see CMG walk into the disc. Slow and methodical right now. Going up the line, just bullying her way through is Kari Jenkins. And it's 10-3 now. And more music playing for the Newfoundland Labrador side because they are up by a large margin.
I feel like this is their anthem.
They're like, play this for every game of ours.
Exactly. Celebrate every point with this.
Quasar on the other side, their coach, Susie Dufour, walking out to her squad as they are certainly trying to settle things down right now.
Don't worry, we've got the French we got a good song for them for the next point.
Hey, we're gonna mix it up, right?
We're gonna go down to their roots. This one should really
Kat,
turn
you
it
speak
up.
French, so you know what music the francophones might like. So
I hope so. I hope I don't disappoint on this choice.
So D-line back out there for Grindmothers. You saw their offense play defense on the last one, able to get the score. This is the only line that the one going right to left is the only line that has scored for this Quasar side. So certainly they're hoping to continue that theme right now. Theriot drawing the Dyer matchup, so they've already keyed in on who Dyer needs to take. Good effort from Boucher, but it's another break chance here for St. John's. Steph Walsh finds Jess Wade. Things moving quickly here. Dyer resets it back, almost a little bobble, but caught by Sophie Blaze. Jess Wade now. Finding Walsh. Walsh had that nice dime ball earlier with the flick. Shaking off a target. Going underneath instead. But Duggan, who caught the goal earlier, could not bring that one in. You hear grind chants from the sideline. Mercier. Now in the hands of Toasty as they pass the brick mark. They're out on the move now, looking comfortable. Theriot looking for a deep shot. Brochu brings it in. Big throw from Theriot, number 97, showing her muscle right now because that's a third assist for number 97.
And that's their lucky point. Hopefully this music will also give them the fuel and the energy for them.
(10-4), their fourth point of the game, and it's been a lot of Theriot and Brochu. They've connected on the last 3 goals for Quasar have been 97-5.
10-4 pour Grindmothers avec Quasar qui vient de faire leur 4e point.
Toasty set to pull here.
This will be Quasar's first defense point since the second half, so we'll see what kind of defense that they put on Grindmothers.
I believe an offsides will give the disc to Grindmothers at midfield, so that's another offside call. Fikowski finds Moffitt. Now it's Wheeler and Hodder connecting. Short throw, but picked up by Melissa Wheeler. Been very calm in the handler space for them. Moffitt finding a reset in Fikowski. This offense been smooth right now. Melissa Wheeler looking for the backhand. Finds Kat Moffitt. Moffitt, another goal, third of the game. Wheeler with her fourth assist, and it's 11-4. And Wheeler, 4 assists already, like I mentioned. And that's the first clean hold for this Grindmother side. Quasar, I like that they go out to their line after every point. I do appreciate that from their team. Fully invested, scoreline the way it is. They're still grinding out here and battling against the strong Grindmother side. More updates for you. Tworp and Cora tied up at 9s. So unfortunately, we don't have a camera over there, but that's certainly a great game happening. And Spice in the Collective happening on another stream, so maybe you can get 2 streams going. That's the video only. Fine print up just by 1 over Cooked. So Cooked already got a win over Quasar, comfortably 15-5. The Collective shocking fine print as well. We didn't even mention that. They beat the number 2 seed overall 15-9 to begin the tournament. So things could be really topsy-turvy here in Pool B. A great deep shot looking. That is a perfect throw. Wow, oh wow. Elise Bastille-Lavigne. Finding who else but Olivia Brochu.
And they really use and stretch that field to get that point too. So I think Quasar knows that when they use that space that they're able to execute perfectly. Un 5e point pour Quasar contre Grindmothers.
Brochu had 10 goals a year ago and is already at 4 right now in 1 game. So certainly adding to the totals here, and we've made a point about some of the struggles of this other line here going left to right. They have yet to score, and certainly if Quasar wants to come back, they're going to have to get some production from that side of the field. So we'll see what line they drop. I think they're just going to keep it status quo here of who's on, but certainly they're going to have to maybe try something different, take advantage of some short field turnovers as well from this Grindmother side if possible.
For Grindmothers. I think there's a little bit of confusion on the dark side about the scores because of the wind. It kind of messed up our little scoreboard over there.
But 11-5 is the scoreline we have, and we're going to keep things moving here as Quasar back out on defense, like I mentioned. Toasty's line set to try to make a stand here. But this offense has not been taken down just yet. Zipping it through to Hodder, but hey, this is the chance Quasar needs. Out on the move, thought about it, and now looking deep. Taken away by CMG with the block. And some real miscommunication with Moffitt and Melissa Wheeler. And if you're Quasar, you really need to cash in now. This is a gift. Short field, you have to punch it in. If you even need to use a timeout, to settle things down, you take it now because this is their best opportunity.
We're seeing a beautiful end zone here with an ISO from Quasar.
And slashing across, the one who just threw the assist. They crossed her over. Elise Bastille-Lavigne. EBL gets a break back for Quasar. Toasty on the assist. That's what they needed, Kat.
Love their little celebration as well. Un 6e point pour Quasar contre Grindmothers.
Time might play a factor here, but it's soft cap +1 at this tournament, so we do like that. So soft cap is at 75 minutes. After the next point is scored, you add 1 to the higher score, and we'll keep you posted on the cap. There is a hard cap of 90 minutes afterwards. But, Kat, I'm always a big fan of this rule. I will say that publicly because that means the winning team has to score the last point. You often have seen games at nationals or other tournaments where the team that scores last doesn't actually win the game.
It's quite the plot twist.
So we do like that at this tournament. We had this at regionals as well. There is a hard cap, of course, but now you have soft cap +1. You got 15 minutes to work with. So hopefully if you're the team that's only needs 1 more point to score, you can get it within that 15-minute block is the hope. And that's a short field turn, and Toasty's on this point. So they've crossed over some big-time players now, has Quasar. They sense they needed to get back in. They're going to have to dial up some pressure with some personnel changes. Mercier over to Bouchard. Toasty now, working with Bouchard. Terrio's calling for it. And just a little too far. I think maybe the flick would have worked there instead of the zippy backhand.
But, you know, I love the look because if she had a player that had cut to that side, it would have been a great point. There was so much space, and there was nobody on that side.
And that, you had a big receiver there in Terrio, right? So they got the zone look now. This is the D-line, so they're happy to go kind of D-line goes and then O-line. Jess Wade looking for a deep shot. Batted. Second effort, though. You got to catch it.
Catch your D's.
Because Steph Walsh is there. Dyer finds a reset in Steph Walsh. Calm, collected handler. Finding O'Reilly. Can't leave Steph Walsh unmarked because she's going to put out the big flick. Already loading it up. And that's outside edge. Almost caught there by Duggan. Didn't have a lot of looks. Elected to throw that flick with that outside edge to the inside. The Oyo, as the kids call it. But Grindmothers going with the zone on their own here. Terrio just bounces out of the right hand. She's been working hard all game. Going to have to work again here on defense, marking Jess Wade. Wade faking the reset. Has Dyer coming underneath, but instead looking for stuff. Walsh! And great pressure from EBL on the backside. But Walsh is going to call a foul, saying she got hit on the back. Looks like it's not going to be contested by Toasty.
I have to say it's been really nice that this has been a very well-spirited game, and both teams have been able to discuss calls peacefully.
We're live, says observer Chazzy over there, and so that means Steph Walsh will pick it out with Toasty on the mark. Jess Wade going up line. Nice little cut into the end zone. That's so hard to stop in the small spaces.
Vibing to the new music. Thank you to our DJ.
Wilson Pan, he's going to be on the call for the next game. That's Dead Circus and Ensom. The open division taking center stage here. 6 teams competing, and in the open division, one team not here. They came second last year, AFC Carbon. But you have Still, you have Dead Circus and Orb that were all at Worlds, Cat, and they've decided to come to Nats. We see on the women's side that's very different because no Stello, Saj, or Sour. So a little bit different in the open for having some Worlds teams.
Also a different climate. I heard it was very windy and cold over
Yes,
there.
yes.
And all of a sudden they're coming to beautiful 26 degrees sunny weather here in Brampton.
I think they knew signing up for Worlds that it was going to be a bit windier in Nottingham, UK. So
The luck of the Irish.
So here's the thing, you use Toasty on the last point, and now she is not on the field. So 12-6, they were trying to make a push here. Quasar still trying to fight back. Robitaille resetting it to Kosh. Trap called from the zone look. And it's hard to call them the O-line when they're playing so much D right now, this group. But they did note to us they have O and D lines, and maybe certainly a pod that starts on O. And then if they do get breaks, they will put on the O group. At that point, of course, what last was a hold for Grindmothers. And a drop there from Robitaille gives a disc past midfield for Grindmothers. Melissa Wheeler finding Moffitt. Moffitt having a great game so far. Has Heather Sullivan coming for a big under gainer. Sullivan shovels the flick over to Melissa Wheeler. Melissa now resetting it to CMG. A little give go with CMG, but it's swatted away by Picard. Some help on the backside as well from a Quasar defender. Two people making sure that was not caught. And so an opportunity for this offensive line. Gonna have to work against this zone and the trap. Nice little fake there from Kosh. Kosh working a little give go now with Bouchard, who has the disc currently. Trying to move the ball quick is Quasar. And their momentum has been halted by another drop here. That has been a little bit of the story of the game for the Quebec City side. Just some execution within some of those underneath throws. They haven't really elected to throw it deep. It's been mostly underneath for them. If they have connected deep, it has been successful to Terry O. He's not on the field right now. Melissa Wheeler pointing, but it's an under Moffitt. Melissa Wheeler. Little backhand. That was a nice throw, finding Moffitt. Moffitt, fourth goal.
Un 13e point pour Grindmothers contre Quasar. Le pointage va jusqu'à 15 pour ceux à la maison qui sont nouveaux. Et c'est un point bris pour l'équipe Grindmothers.
A break point, able to battle back here. After bleeding a break of their own, they were able to get a hold and then, of course, break back here. Quasar continue to bring out their whole group as they walk back to their line, showing that team unity and their values of family, self-improvement, and pride. Famille, dépassement et fierté. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Pride, is that?
Fierté.
Fierté.
Yeah, it's okay. At the end, you do a day one CUCM with your French, and then by the last day, you'll be fully bilingual. Making
Trying for the Quebec City group here. We thank you for those tuning in from Quebec City and also St. John's, wherever you are in the country. As Jess Wade with the pull for Grindmothers. Hopefully some Tempest players watching back home as well. Quasar having some Karma representation to their name.
I'm loving the momentum that Quasar is coming out with.
Great grab there from Mira on, keeping things alive. Bastille Lavigne now. EBL unleashing the backhand. On is there. Got to be patient now. No mark, so got a lot of time. And we'll move things forward to, I'm going to say it again, who else but Olivia Brochu. 5th goal for number 5.
C'est ça. Donc, on a Quasar avec le 7e point de On à Brochu pour leur 7e point. Ils ont vraiment utilisé l'espace dans ce terrain pour ce point-là pour gagner le 7e point.
This line has gotten 4 clean holds, and they've all been goals for Olivia Brochu. So Brochu having a nose for the end zone right now. They're going to lead a little bit more of that as we're down past 8 minutes of the soft cap. That's add 1 to the higher score after that point is played out. So this game could be a game to 15. It could be even less if Quasar continues to grind out some D points, and then we'll have to see. So we'll keep you posted on the caps, of course, as this matchup progresses. Tosti to pull for Quasar has been doing so whenever she's been on the field. Playing for Cube last season, the top Quebec City women's team. This ball gonna have some lift to it. And you can see Melissa Wheeler right away trying to get this offense going. The pace that they want to play with is hard to stop. Fitkowski. Spinning around. Finds CMG. CMG, a couple of fakes, finding Melissa Wheeler. And they're out on the move. Hodder. Back to Melissa Wheeler. Melissa Wheeler going across the field, or to the center of the field, I should say, finding Heather Sullivan. The Stars are starring right now. 6 assists for Melissa Wheeler.
So Theo, next game you'll be DJ.
Am I? I guess I'm the DJ for the next game. So Wilson, Pan, Cat Fortan going to bring you the call. Like I said, Dead Circus, Ensom, and then after that we have Rogue Hippo from Edmonton, Alberta, taking on Prost from Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario.
And it's so great because you can watch all of these on YouTube, on our Ultimate Canada YouTube channel.
Free to watch. Drop a like. Hit the subscribe button, as a YouTuber would say. Make sure you do that, right, Kat?
Notify button.
Can you say that in French? How do you say that in French?
N'oubliez pas de abandonner à cette chaîne sur YouTube. N'oubliez pas de mettre le commentaire, le bouton like.
Hey, that's how we got to do it.
Google
Make sure you hit the like
Translate.
We do appreciate, of course, you bringing the French here for us, Kat, as this Quebec City side back out on offense. I do want to see Brochu back on the field because she's been lighting up the score sheet for Quasar. Brochu has made her way downfield along with Theriot, who's also been a big downfield presence. Theriot now, midfield, looking for Brochu. But what a great block from Sarah Davis. Spinning around, needs a reset. Steph Walsh. Whenever they need a reset, they're just going to find number 15 because Steph Walsh been all over the field for them in the handler space. Jess Wade now. Dyer. Back to the aforementioned Steph Walsh. Has a receiver going deep. Going to go with an under instead to Dyer. Ainsley Cameron had headed into the deep space. And it's a little just give-go right now with Dyer and Walsh until the disc into the hands of Sophie Blaze. Steph Walsh making grabs under duress. A lot of handler pressure. Dyer. Had Cameron perhaps a little too early. Steph Walsh going up the line. But instead it's a reset to Jess Wade. Wade faking the over the top. Faking it again. And we'll go with a high arcing blade. Will it stay in bounds? Steph Walsh making the grab and calls game for the Grindmothers. They're going to take it 15-7 and go one-on-one on the day. A big victory for them. They came in hot, Kat. and continue that momentum. Starting 3-0, they'll take it 15-7.
Absolutely. Pour ceux à la maison, Grindmothers viennent de gagner leur 15e point avec le score final de 15-7 contre Quasar.
Final thoughts from you, Kat, before we sign off and get ready for our next matchup.
It'll be exciting to see the continued momentum that Grindmothers carries through the tournament. How about you?
I like the pressure they put on with their defense. Also, I believe Quasar, they really started to figure things out in the middle part of that game, having a little bit more of a smooth offense. And they're going to hope to carry that into their next matchup as well. Thank you for tuning in. Sarah Edie, our producer. Makush on the camera. We have another camera person as well. Wilson Pan, our DJ. Thank you all. I'm Theo On for Cat Fortan. We'll see you in the next stream.
Yo, they're looking for a reason to quit. Let's give it to them.